For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? A verse that plays in the mind of every Christmas spirited child. A story told every year, but leaving a different meaning to bear. Well, 'tis the reason for this wonderful season, the season of Christmas. But today, we question the sequence of events of this great story with a simple question: what if?
What if our Jesus wasn't born to fulfill the prophecies that were foretold of a certain Messiah gifted with gold? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Because he could have destroyed us instead. I mean, that was a choice. Yet he let his son go so that one day we could hear his voice. The question still remains: what if? What if all the events leading to Jesus' birth were somehow truncated, stopped for our heads? Let's take a look at these events one by one and ask ourselves, what if there were none?
It all began with a young maiden, Mary, who encountered an angel that seemed to her scary. "Hail, O favored one, the Lord is with you," said this mystical being. She was confused and disturbed, but who wouldn't be after what she heard? She was to conceive and bear a son, Jesus, of whose reign there will be no end. But how could this be? For she was a virgin. Nevertheless, she availed herself as the handmaid of the Lord, for nothing is impossible with God. What if she allowed herself to be crippled by the fear, not wanting any part in the conception of the year? Many of us are called to do various things for the Lord, called to be a teacher, prophet, instrumentalist, usher, or even a pastor. But we allow fear to take over and decide not to heed the call, leaving so many vacant spots in the church and in the kingdom overall. So heed to the call.
The question still stands: what if? Remember when Joseph wanted to end things quietly with Mary for carrying a mystery thought when they hadn't even yet tied the knot? But the Lord came through as he sends an angel to pay his servant a visit, not to leave Mary, for that which was conceived in her was of the Holy Spirit. So what if Joseph had not heeded to this message? Many of us are seated here crying out to God in certain situations, yet when he speaks, we choose to ignore. When it does not work out, we run back, blaming God. Today, if you hear his voice, harden not your hearts, for his perfect solutions bring us out of our bad situations.
Still standing on the question, what if? Oh, how staggering was the birth of Christ. In a manger far away, our humble king lay, wrapped in swaddling clothes, surrounded by horses, pigs, and goats, all in witness of the birth of Christ. What if he was born in a more appealing place, perhaps an inn? But then he came for just the privilege, could have been an excuse given. Yet he came through humble beginnings to be for you and me, whether rich or poor, white or black, even good or bad, no matter our background, he came to break those bounds. There are so many out there with such humble beginnings, but we despise them, not knowing they are destiny helpers.
The question still lingers: what if? As the shepherds beheld this glorious sight, there came a revelation of this new light, the light of the world they came to see, and they hurried to proclaim this news with glee. What if they had hesitated to proclaim this great news? Who else would have known? Many of us claim to be children of God, yet we fail in the kingdom agenda. We refuse to tell others about our great King, this great King who heals, protects, and causes everything to work out in our favor. We have so many social media accounts.
So let's ask ourselves, what you post on here, does it glorify our God up there? Again, what you post on here, does it glorify our God up there? Wise men traveling towards the east came to see baby Jesus, to say the least. Gifts of myrrh, frankincense, and gold given to the baby, as the story is told, teaching us the essence of merriness and spreading joy as brothers and sisters. As we celebrate this joyous season, let us give with little to no reason. A mere king chasing the king. I should kill him, he thinks, not knowing what this child is to bring. The angel forewarned the wise men in a dream not to return to Herod, but to flee. They listened and departed to their own country, thus protecting baby Jesus and his family. Just as the Lord directed the wise men, so does he direct our lives. So you see, there's no sure way to tell where we would be right now if all the events leading to Jesus' birth were somehow thwarted, brought to an end. He came to set the captives free, and he did so willingly. Merry Christmas to you all.